colonization is mental based, right? And this is how they got to Africa. They got to Africa to begin with. They first got to Africa through the people. They got through it as a systematic way, through the powers that be, through the kings and the queens and what have you. And then it became controlling your mental. And this is how they succeeded. They succeeded in making our own people believe that Pan-Africanism was a bad thing. They made sure that our own people were also responsible for the assassination of Kwame Nkrumah. Like, where do we like take a stand and say, no, actually stop blaming whoever and look within? Don't get me wrong. They fucked up. They start from the beginning. They made sure we were displaced. They made sure we were divided. They made sure our mentality and our system was so poor that we could not come up from it. But we did. We gained our independence. We stood on our feet and we said, no. To quote the great Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana, our beloved country, shall be free forever. And if it's going to be free forever, we need to elicit these type of things. But we stopped. We stopped seeing it as growth and we started seeing it as like, this is a stagnation. We're not getting enough resources or we're struggling too much and this is where they start attacking your mental. We are colonized to the extent that we can't even see the greatness that lies within. That our success is dependent on someone else. And we, as Ghanaians, as Africans, we struggle to say, no, I want to take a stand and I want to build this from within. Don't get me, it's happening now. Now we're waking up and now we're seeing it. You remember the doctor at the event we went to? He said his generation has failed us. Not in so much detail, not going in so much detail. He's right. They have failed us because they were the first people to drink from that Kool-Aid. They were the first people to drink that mentality. And the more we speak on this and the more we understand that coming here is not the end all. Building back home and building our leaders, putting the right leaders in place, speaking to our leaders and making sure they understand they're working for us.
Deron, welcome to the show.
Yeah, so man, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
For being here. Thank you for being here. Give me. Thank you for being here.
I know. We've been trying to make it work for a bit, but hey, schedules was crazy. But today I had to make it work. I was like, nah. Yeah. I was somewhere, but I had to rush over because I was like, nah.
Yeah, and I appreciate that, honestly, man. Like, timing is the 2020. Like, timing is always perfect. So, like, this day had to be this day.
Of course.
You know?
Of course.
All right, let's take it back. Before we even start getting into why
you're
here, take it back to when we first met. So when we first met, it was Dr. Ade Seba. I want to get the name right.
Yes. Ade Seba, yeah.
But I want to show respect to him. What did you think of the event? What was your thoughts after the event? Talk about that.
I mean, even like from the point of coming to the event, I was like, oh, wow, this is a whole new environment. Like I hadn't stepped into that world yet or officially stepped into that world where now I'm finding like like-minded people. I'm finding people that are like so interested in it. I think the whole event in terms of the speakers, in terms of the people present, in terms of the organization, it just seemed well thought out. And in having our people in this kind of space, I was just like, whoa, like there's people actually doing it. Like we can't shy away from the idea that, oh yeah, everyone's already worried that we're not trying to perform as best as we can be. But you just have to go looking. And in looking, we found a space where everyone's so passionate about this one topic. You've got great speakers like the doctor. There was like 3 doctors on the stage. And I think 50% of them or 75% of them were women. And I was like, yeah, come on, let's go. Let's do this. We're in this now. But like I think the right topics were discussed. It would have been so much better if they opened it up as a forum. where everyone would have opinions. Because I think at some point there were so many people interrupting because their points also needed to be heard, because the right points weren't being tackled or wasn't being like discussed. So for them, they needed more information. There just wasn't enough time. That was the only sad part. But in terms of the collective, in terms of people coming together, I think it was just a great experience, man.
I 100% agree, man.
Yeah.
Everything you said, honestly, like for me, it was also a new environment too, because like I've been big on finding more places where we could talk about those issues, where those issues will be discussed openly. You know, and like Pan-Africanism is such a, you need to know the context. So going to some of the people who are doctors in that topic is super important.
Yo, I didn't even know you could get a doctorate in that type of topic.
They're like 3-4 of them.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. There's so many people standing on that stage. I was like, oh damn, we can do this. Like, it's something that it's there. It's not, we're not closed off to this scene anymore. It's something that we can push ourselves into. So yeah, man, I'm there with you.
100%.
I'm there with you.
You mentioned it there. One thing I saw was that there were so many points being discussed, but there were so many points that weren't left undiscussed. And like, it's a form of the time. They didn't have enough time, but they obviously had a plan for the what it was going to be. But in the end, like you said, it could have been an open forum. People were just talking back and forth because there was someone talking about this topic like needed to be addressed. Someone talking about this topic needed to be addressed. And that moment when I realized was that, oh, we need to create more spaces for topics like this. We need to create more places where people to like really sit down and talk about these issues.
And then this is where you come in. This is where you come in.
Exactly. I was like talking to people. I'm talking to you. And I'm just discussing a few things there. And I was like, oh, I wanted let's connect it.
Yeah. I remember I was just standing there. This man, I think we hadn't even spoke yet. I was speaking to the doctor, and then like we had a few conversations. And next thing I know, there's a man tapping me on the shoulder saying, oh, yeah, I should get your Instagram, man. I was like, what? But I think it was a great experience, perfect timing, the right mindset, right environment. And yeah, man, I was just glad. I was literally glad I had met somebody that was actually doing something to help our people get heard. So yeah, big ups to you, man.
I appreciate that.
Big ups to you.
Appreciate that, man. And like, yeah, let's start with the conversation I wanted to have. And like I said, it's a broad topic, but I want to look at it from different perspectives. You know, like I've always had a feeling that African thought or Pan-Africanism, right? The idea isn't really explored in our generation, not just by people in the academic scene, but also by just like the layman, people who have a perspective on this, right? Because we all grew up in this ecosystem. All of us suffer or benefit in one way from where Africa is right now. But most of us don't have the time to sit down and think or talk about it. So the topic I'm trying to approach from different sides today is what's going on in Africa. And like, why is it where it is? What are some of the issues? You know, how did we get here? That's a massive question.
Yeah, man.
In the beginning.
The
beginning is always a good place to start.
Beautiful.
What was your growing up? What was your kind of understanding of what Africa was? And like, what was your relationship to the continent of Africa?
Oh. Man, hey, I think like everybody else that sort of had a bit of a European in them or had a bit of like, had experienced this side of the world a little bit, Africa is always seen as a bad thing. Africa is always seen as like the place where, like, let me even put into let me not start at the very beginning, but let me start at the point of like, let's say secondary school. Any child that's bad in secondary school, primary school, the first threat from your black mum or your black father is, I'm gonna send you back to Africa. 100%. This is the whole mentality around it. The whole thing that keeps us petrified of back home is ingrained in our own homes. Our parents are happily to tell us that bad behavior, you get sent back home. And back home is the worst place on earth. Like, can you imagine? Imagine saying that to me right now. Like, my boss comes up to me and he's like, Deron, like, your work is so poor. We can't handle this anymore. If you continue to perform this way at work, I'm sending you back to Africa. I would purposely work bad, so he would have to send me back to Africa, literally. So in terms of our mindset and how I felt about the place, it was like around that period, it was just the worst thing for me. And I remember when I first moved here, because I spent like my formative years up until like the age of 9, I spent it growing up in Ghana. And up until when I was able to come here, it was like, even that, my leaving and coming here, like literally up until the last day that I was able to like come to this country, it was like a whole thing. Like, congratulations, Deron, you're going to the UK. Like, oh my gosh, you're going to be in London. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm excited. I'm so happy. Up until I got here. And then it's like the whole system, the whole understanding, the whole mindset is just completely different. We're so disconnected. Like, our pleasures and our joys and what we find important has now been turned around. And now we need to reshape it in a different society at such a young age as well, mind you. So I think for me, it was sort of like you're coming to England or you're coming to the UK and you're better off. It's better than being in Africa where you are with your people and then like that kind of sticks inside your head and it breeds you within that culture. And so the culture now you are now in, you have to adopt it in a certain light. And yeah, for me, not anymore, man.
All right.
Not anymore.
Like, just knowing that along because, especially go back to what you said about like parents saying, I'm going to send it to you.
Yeah, you can relate, right?
That's your relatable. Every person I've spoken to,
Yeah.
that'll be African.
Yeah.
Did your person like, yeah, I was like, what did I mean? And then decided, you know what? You know, then traumatize this.
Yeah.
I'm going to send them back home.
And then this is how you traumatize me. What?
It's kind of mad, but I get it. Now I'm older, I can see the thinking, right?
Mm-hmm.
To them, Africa was struggle.
Yeah.
It was pain.
Yeah.
So I'm here. You don't want to go back to that pain, but we don't have that. We don't have anything to kind of compare it to. We only have this. So like we see that as now being a place where we don't feel like home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they instill in that. And then plus on that, you get the media representation of Africa.
Very true.
Everything I always say, I remember one time I saw this video of a kid, obviously one of these donate videos.
Yeah.
And the kid was sitting there, obviously hungry, and there was a fly, like butter, and the fly lands on his eye, and he didn't even. I was like, oh, save it.
I know, bro.
I was so like, I viscerally felt that, oh, this is how they want to present it.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah.
Yes, sometimes you need to do stuff in order to help people. And one of the ways they did that was, okay, show the poverty and people feel an emotional reaction.
Yeah.
But from there, then your emotional reaction becomes embedded into your identity.
You also have that sort of perception of your own place. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Talk to me a little bit more about that then. What's the representation of like your home, you have such a unique experience too, because talk about going back from becoming,
Yeah.
What was that like? How did you view like how they represented African in media, knowing what it was like when you really went back?
I think for me, this is, and I think you have quite a similar experience to me of like moving here and living now in this culture. I think you very much think less about back home. You very much try to understand where you are and what you want to do here. So back home is no longer like your parents have already told you that it's the worst place in your world. You're bad. If you fuck up, you're going there. Excuse me, but like you're going back. So for me, it wasn't something that I even wanted to think about. I just wanted to learn English, get my English right, start speaking with a bit of twang to it, start speaking like all of, and I think the joy and the beautiful memories that I had growing up just started to fade away more and more and more and more. The media is never going to show you the beauty of it. They're never going to, even till this day, up until like our own people are absolutely going out their way to show us how beautiful back home is, the mass media is not going to do that. So as children, as young growing up adults, whatever it is, we're not within the demographic for them to show us all this beautiful stuff. No, they already wanna instill in us their culture or the system that we're in, and they want to get us more deep rooted into it. Which again, it's not bad, but you can't lose where you're from.
Absolutely.
For me, I don't think I was very much focused on Africa anymore. I had already seen it as bad, and in my head it was bad. That was it. I was doing what I needed to do here. For me, I felt there was always a part of me that wanted to scream out and say, "What are you doing?" Like, yeah, you're doing something beautiful. You're understanding this culture that you're in now. But you have to understand it, mind you. You can't. This place will very much make you feel like the odd one out if you allow yourself to.
Absolutely.
And in order to not feel like the odd one out, you pick up these little habits that makes you feel like, oh, well, I'm one of them. Well, I'm one of... But you're not. You then, at a young age, if you're lucky enough, you can then assimilate the two together and say, oh, well, this is where I came from. This is where all my happy memories are. This is where my joy is from. And this is how I'm going to bring it into it. For me, it took a while for me to learn that. It took a long time. Like, even now, I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure out where my Africa begins and my English begins. Like, I'm still trying to find that balance. But in terms of my experience, it was just very deep-rooted in understanding and learning this culture. And, you know, having Black European parents, African European parents, they will make you aware that your culture back there is your culture back there. Don't forget it. Like, when you come home, you speak G. When you're eating, you eat your local dishes. But when you leave the house, you better make sure you look just like the white man. You better assimilate. You better say, yes, ma'am, yes, sir. You better make sure that you are representing the household in the right way. And
that is such an interesting tension too, because like, I completely 100% of everything you said, I completely agree. I completely relate to. And I think it's such an interesting thing that we could, two people from similar, obviously, but like have the same experience to the culture, and it shows something about how this culture forces you to adapt, and the ways it forces you to adapt. Because you are right. For me, it was the same thing. How do I take on English as a way to understand the English culture? And I fell right into literature. I fell right into like language and all of this, and like as
beautiful, man.
Understand and integrate, and then I became interested in people, and that just became like, you know, my journey. But I think like one big thing was like when I was a kid, my mom always be like, "Oh, you have to read. Here's the books. You got to read your books. You got to." So I read even as a kid, like I remember like, you know, reading big books. I was like part of them, part of that training, a part of that growth. You know, and it's interesting to reflect on that as an adult. And I was doing this recently, a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago. I wrote a blog that I talked about this tension of being from Africa, but also growing up here, and like what parts of myself represented in what. So like I looked at it in my head, I was like, okay, Africa is like the traditional side for me, you know. Africa is like the soul of who I am. You know, and like I guess England became the intellect. England became the mind and how I would move in here. And that like merging of the two became a new culture. And like I had to come to terms with that new culture. Not feel like I was displaced in either one.
Beautiful.
But I feel like one of me being both was actually the rightful place of who I'm supposed to be.
Freedom.
I want to now know about like, because to me, a large part of that was figuring out what I wasn't taught. And going back into my Africanness and like drawing all these influences, you know, or even just, you know, even doing just Africa. But by learning about like Kwame Nkrumah. Like all these like national heroes that we have close to our hearts and what they mean, the things they say.
Absolutely.
What were some of the things that you had to relearn about Africa? Once you start looking back and find that kind of place to be talking about, you know, what were some of the things that you realized you weren't being taught?
Being taught is, I can easily say everything. Like, I wasn't being taught anything. Like, I mean, no, again, let me give a shout out to my parents around this time. Like, where they all had their shortcomings, their individuality, they always let it stick out. So the culture that they believed in always remained the same. Yes, try to show out your Englishness when you leave the house, or your English side. Like, understand that you're still a black man at the end of the day, and your experiences are going to be completely different. But you're in the system, learn their system, educate yourself with it. And for me, it was more so having to leave here, which is like having to leave this entire continent and go back to the continent of Africa. I had to learn it the hard way. Literally. Like, my story was an easy story of getting sent back home because I was being bad. That was an easy story. Like, I can easily say that was my story. But I don't see that perspective. I don't see it from that perspective at all. I see it as God said, I need to save my kid. And he took me back to my roots in order for me to get saved. When I went back, I remember it took a while for me to assimilate. Like, there was a whole... Like, again, when you go back, the culture makes you feel superior because you've been over here. Without the understanding or without even the know-how that they are the more superior people. Hey, listen.
That's a different story. But
That's a different story, but we'll get to it. But, like, the idea that you being here and you living here and you having the experience and you having sort of this culture within your system flowing through your veins is more superior, it was a kind of hard thing for me to step away from. Because as soon as I spoke, everyone felt like, oh, well, you've been somewhere before. You must have got money, you must have this, you must have that. I was like, brother, my mom's a chef. She serves people food. Like, I'm right here with you. Don't get me wrong. I'm right here with you. You need to see this. Like, you need to see this version. It ain't rainbows and sunshines. There's a version of the cultures where in this part of the world, they're showing you the struggles of Africa. If you go back to Africa, they're also showing you the beauty of here.
So interesting. That's so true. Yeah.
They're not making you see... I don't know if you experienced this when you went back, man.
Absolutely, I experienced that. And it was like in just how older people would treat me. Obviously, I have the kind of like... I was born with that respect for older people.
Yeah.
But then they would come and then they would start to... Because of, I guess, they seen that you were from abroad.
Yes.
You know that thing, bugger.
Yeah. Bugger's home. Bugger's in town, bro.
It's just someone who has money and he's back home.
Yeah.
You got money, you're back home, you're treated with a sense of respect.
Yeah.
And it completely flips your view of yourself, but also like how they view it. And it's seen been presented in a sense of a way.
Exactly. And how we present it to ourselves is also a poor thing. Now we're a bit lucky because people that have experienced it more come back home and they're like, listen, take your time. Don't stop trying to rush and come to Europe and just embrace the culture a bit more and let it find you. And you will see your success within your own culture. But like, if we go home right now, brother, the majority of people just want to make it here. They want to come here. Don't get me wrong. Like, if I am being very open and transparent, our people are struggling back home. Not because of like, there's mass famine or they can't grow crops, or it's because of us, the people. We are the reasons why there's so much struggle happening, because we are picking greed and we're picking corruption over protecting our own. And because we're failing to do this, we just want to leave. Like, I think the statistics for 2024 statistics for the young adults was about... don't fact check me on this, I'm sorry. But don't fact check me, but... No fact check. Yeah. There's like 75% of like the young adults that finish university just want to leave.
That's so bad for economy. That's so bad for a culture.
Nobody wants to stay and earn money and work within there because there's not even that much money to earn. If the culture was like, I would even say booming. If the culture was for the people, if the system was for the people, if the people in power were for the people, we would be like the success of the continent or the country, or like it would just be astronomical. But the problem is we are not finding it within ourselves. We're not finding it within ourselves to say, no, actually, we need to do this for ourselves. This is what Patrice Lumumba tried to do. This is what Nkrumah trying to do. Pan-Africanism.
You know what I mean? All right, let's talk about this. We've been talking about the topic for a long time. Let's actually not talk about it. Colonialism, all of this, and then the questions of colonialism. Okay, so I often think, right, it's two parts. Because my question is always, I ask people all the time, what is going on with Africa? What is the core problem of Africa? How do we solve it, right?
Okay.
And for me, it comes, let's say, three parts. Right is obviously the biggest one is economic, right? But where does the economic thing come from? Is it either the colonialism and what's happened because of what the colonial powers and the resources they extracted?
Yeah.
Or is it the mentality that's currently being prevalent in the continent because of, you know, the need and the lack of economic opportunities. You know, where would you start? How would you look at it? Would you look at someone wants to ask you what is the problem in Africa? How would you approach the question?
I mean, like, you've raised great points, man. Like, I'm not even surprised you're saying stuff like this. Come on, man. It's you. If you want to go into in depth, it has to be combined. One does not exist without the other. One is as a result of the other, and one is like, they literally go side by side. Colonization is mental based, right? And this is how they got to Africa. They got to Africa to begin with. They first got to Africa through the people. They got through it as a systematic way, through the powers that be, through the kings and the queens and what have you. And then it became controlling your mental. And this is how they succeeded. They succeeded in making our own people believe that Pan-Africanism was a bad thing. They made sure that our own people were also responsible for the assassination of Kwame Nkrumah. Like, where do we like take a stand and say, no, actually stop blaming whoever and look within? Don't get me wrong. They fucked up. They start from the beginning. They made sure we were displaced. They made sure we were divided. They made sure our mentality and our system was so poor that we could not come up from it. But we did. We gained our independence. We stood on our feet and we said, no. To quote the great Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana, our beloved country, shall be free forever. And if it's going to be free forever, we need to elicit these type of things. But we stopped. We stopped seeing it as growth and we started seeing it as like, this is a stagnation. We're not getting enough resources, or we're struggling too much, and this is where they start attacking your mental. Well, actually, if you're struggling too much, I'll give you a visa. I'll give you a scholarship. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. Come to me, work for me. Expand your knowledge. Expand this. Kofi Annan, look at him. Like, he was a proud member of Africa. He was a pioneer for us. He spoke on us every single day. Every single opportunity he got, he made Africa known. But he also had to leave in order to have this. And people embracing this sort of mentality is where we struggle. And we are colonized to the extent that we can't even see the greatness that lies within. That our success is dependent on someone else. And we, as Ghanaians, as Africans, we struggle to say, no, I want to take a stand and I want to build this from within. Don't get me, it's happening now. Now we're waking up and now we're seeing it. You remember the doctor at the event we went to? He said his generation has failed us. Not in so much detail, not going in so much detail. He's right. They have failed us because they were the first people to drink from that Kool-Aid. They were the first people to drink that mentality. And the more we speak on this and the more we understand that coming here is not the end all. Building back home and building our leaders, putting the right leaders in place, speaking to our leaders and making sure they understand they're working for us. Like, don't give somebody so much power to the extent that they feel like, if you talk back to me, I'll slap you. Like, Ghana police, African police, like, you feel like the way they treat us here is bad? They treat us worse back home. And that's because there's this umbrella in their head that they are the authoritative figure. They've got the backing from their ministers and their governments for them to act out in a rash way. Here, we're criticized for the color of our skin. Over there, we're criticized based off of our status. And if your status is not matching what they feel like you can benefit them, you go down the hill. Like, I don't know, you experienced this when you went back home. We just want to survive. This is where the struggle is, man. Everyone just wants to survive as opposed to just waking up and trying to see what we can build. Even not for yourself. Build it for your generations to come. That's where it lies. That's where it stands, man. So for me, I think this is a great point that you have raised. And I know you, man, you've got the mental to debate this day in and day out, colonization and our mentality towards it. But hey, because we're free, right? We have independence.
Start acting like it, bro.
Like,
I completely agree with you. Everything you said, man. Everything you said. Like, you know what? It's like difficult for me to even understand. It's like, what do we do now? Because I'm tired of debating. I'm tired of reading. I've been reading about Evan Kwame Nkrumah. I've been reading about like Marcus Garvey. All of these, man. I'm tired, bro.
I know.
How long are we going to read about these people without making any impact? And I think that's what, when he said that their generation has failed us, I was like, yeah, but we're doing the same to ourselves. Like, when I went back home, when like I was telling you, and I was asking them, I was sitting there, the brothers that were there.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, cool. Like, Ghana's struggling.
Yeah.
How do we get out of this? I learned some shit in the UK, but the first thing they tell us is that you guys can't be like, when you guys can't be doing all this stuff to you because
you got it better.
You got to, you know?
We have it better. In Africa, we only have it better because they feel like we're earning more and we have more luxury, which we do. But we only have this because our own people are failing us. This is where it lands. This is where it stands. Like, I am never, oh man, I can't tell you that I would never stop marching and stop parading for my people in this country or in this part of the world. But what are we doing back home? Because me and you, we would happily return in a land that would accept us if we knew we could be doing something. So me and you here, we are trying to put up the good fight for our people that are not putting up the good fight. And don't get me wrong, there's people that are waking up right now, this present day. There's people back home waking up, putting in the work, trying to bring the community, trying to just stop conforming to the stereotypes, the gender norms, the ideologies, the stereotypes. Like, there's people in this day trying to do it back home. I think where we can be most useful is connecting with them, seeing how we can like provide them with resources, how we can make the voices heard, how we can like, oh man, it's a struggle, man.
It's frustration too, man. I can see it in your face. I feel the same frustration myself.
Like, you've been in that culture, so I've lived in the culture. I know. Like, stop seeing us when we come to Ghana. Like, your bomber is here, your bugger is here, your chairman, your chief. Like, bro, I'm just like you.
See, that's the thing, though. It feels to me, right, coming back to the idea of like mentality, they've been so systematically like persuaded that their change has to be external.
It has to be external.
Someone has to come from outside to come and help us here. We can't do our fuck. It's so integrated. Like, sometimes someone will do something in politics, and then they'll be like, well, if it was abroad, they wouldn't do it.
They wouldn't do it.
Are you kidding me? There's the same corruption there too.
But you just don't see. They want to see, you know? They want to see. They want to feel it. Just because you'll see. The only reason you're seeing the corruption in Ghana is because there's not enough. There's not enough resources. So as soon as they hide a little bit, you can tell. Over here, they're hiding billions.
Billions, man. And it's system, and it's like corporations. And I think that's the thing too, right? It's like, okay, I don't want to like take a like understanding into like the economics of it, right?
Yeah.
So I was reading this thing by Karl Marx. Okay. He was talking about how people becoming slaves. And it's essentially, it's like, if you don't have the capital, you have to rely on labor.
You do.
And so like what I'm seeing right now in Africa, and people might have seen this now, is like foreign powers going into Africa, China, US, go to Africa, building stuff there, but they control the capital.
Absolutely.
And so all our people can do is supply labor, but all that keeps them is more enslaved. Yeah. We have resources. We've got cocoa, we've got gold, and we've got diamonds. How are we still poor? When you look at these things, right, like ways that things are improving, but also not improving, kind of staying the same.
Yeah.
How do you see as like the economic route? How do you see the capital? How can we come out about this like boot on our necks?
Hey man, listen, I feel like this is my weakness, right? I use my voice and I use my ability, but intellectually, this is where I need people like you to come in. Like, just from the outside looking in, the easiest thing I can say is like, stop trading in dollars. Just trade in your currency. Give your currency power. Like, let's understand this, right? And since the current president came into power, like, shout out to him. He's helped us. He's helped the currency gain more traction against the dollar. He's helped it gain more power against the pound. But stop, like, because we're struggling to manufacture it back home, we're sending the raw resources out. And the raw materials are less valuable than the actual finished goods. So stop patronizing, like, even like when it comes to the small fundamentals like digestives or hobnobs or chocolate. Like, I even remember bringing Ghana chocolate here to some people when I went back home, and they were like, oh my gosh, this chocolate is so good. Like, it tastes nothing like the chocolate we have here. It's so different. Like, there's some people that obviously they don't like it because their palate has trained them to love like the finest Swiss and the finest whatever it is. But if you stop seeing yours as bad and start seeing it as a different variety, so like you were saying, my guy, your mentality, fix it, fix within and start looking without. If we have a huge tendency to wanting outside help and have wanting people to help us from here and here, fix what you can fix. What you can control is yourself. If you're dropping something on the floor, it comes to the bare minimum. You're dropping something on the floor. Don't. Put it in your pocket. Find a bin. Every single individual has a bin in their household. You know what? We're polluting the climate by burning rubbish and by doing whatever. But you've got companies like Zoom Lion in Ghana that will try to, like, they do collections. They'll collect from your house. Or find a rubbish dump or whatever it is. There's projects in Ghana with recycling. Give these more power. Invest in these. Like, pay attention to these resources that better us. The more you pay attention and the more you do it in-house, they will come and find you. China will beg you. Russia will beg you. Whoever it is that you feel like is your saving grace, is your like your hero, they are not. They are going to come at you for like a 70-30 split. Or they're going to come at you, I'm going to give you so much money, but you're going to be in debt to me. You're not making money, you're just paying off your debt.
100%.
And if you're paying off your debt, there's no growth. I'm not as intellectually savvy as most of you lot, but to me that doesn't sound right. Why am I running a business that I can't even get a positive? Because let's say Ghana is a business, let's say the country or the continent is a business, and I hate the fact that we keep going to Ghana, but this is where our experience is at, right? If this is our business, why are we just drumming continuously into the minus? At some point, shouldn't we see a positive? What are we doing? Why are we allowing GMO seeds into the country? Why are we not producing it ourselves? Why are we not pushing more and more into the roads that leads from the farms to the markets? Why are we not fixing that? Why are we so invested in our real estate? What, because you and me are going to come in December, we want somewhere nice to live? My guy, just find a hut and stay. If Africa's that bad and we live in mud huts, what's wrong with you living in a mud hut? You think you're too good for a mud hut? What is this? Like, let's be very real. Nobody's living in a mud hut. But, like, this whole perception, or you feel like you want to live in a resort, you want to live in all of this, it's nice and beautiful, and our tourism is doing very well, but where's the money going?
Bro, thank you for saying that. Like, bro, and you keep saying you don't have the education, but you're making some very keenly educated points. Not, but these just common sense. But you said a lot of truth there, man. It's like, and it comes down to the ideas that these people have been talking about for a long time. Kwame Nkrumah said this when he was alive about you got to free yourself, but you also got to become independent. Well, depending on someone else, you can't grow.
Yes.
You cannot build your own nation.
Yeah.
He was saying the whole idea of Pan-Africanism is that we rely on each other.
On each other.
We didn't even need them, man.
Should we name drop? Or we start saying that we're terrorists? Or should we say, just Gaddafi? Oh, no, that's not fair, bro. Oh, no, Guinea-Bissau, you know? Like, think about all these spots. I mean, sir, you're absolutely right, man. I need you to flow on this point, man. Flow.
Bro, because it's like, and it goes so deep because all the people that you've mentioned, right, is how they do it in the West, and it's like once you deeper, you go, oh, okay, it's like that meme when you just completely throw all of our because you made it seem like these people were terrorists. They were like going for what was only beneficial to them
and their people.
Not like discounting all the history of been going in Europe,
of course,
for centuries. Now you men are like, oh, we're good now, but none of us are doing that anymore. Fine, go forward. We come to Pan-African.
I mean, sorry, bro, they really are. Look at Palestine, look at Sudan, come on, man. Let's be real.
But that's the thing, though. It's like the perception and the way they take that perception and like kind of enforce it on other people.
Yeah.
So it's like the idea of Pan-Africanism. Yeah. It's like we rely on ourselves. We don't need other people to come. We don't need, like you mentioned the thing about chocolate.
Yeah.
We make the coke. We make the core ingredient.
Yeah.
Take it to Switzerland and they make the chocolate bar and then they sell it for how much more?
What?
That's insane.
You see?
That's just like basic economics, and it's understanding that way. Even though you're in need, you have to think logically about it. You have to think, well, how do I like move in a system and make it beneficial for the people that I understand about?
Yes, sir.
I would say, guys, go and read about these people. Even if you don't read a book, read the core bullet points of like Kwame Nkrumah, Marcus Garvey.
Yes.
There's so many others, right?
Yes, sir.
Like what they were talking about, self-reliance.
Yeah.
Every continent should be like this, because otherwise you get the powers that be, enforcing their rule on other smaller countries. Yeah. To lead to total devastation in the world.
Absolutely.
As we're seeing today. So what Africa needs to realize is that it's role in this. These powers, these people, they're fighting. There's a massive new world order coming. The world is changing. Whereas China, there's going to be a difference. I have to understand where it is in relation to that. Yeah. We have to understand what matters to us.
Yes. What are we protecting? You're right. You're absolutely right. What are we protecting? And this is where it comes from. You made this point from the beginning. Colonization. They've colonized us physically, but mentally, and this is where I said they intertwine. Mentally, we're still stuck within that loop. And escaping that is how we need to reach within. And it comes in so many forms. So many. Like, you even go to church and they're preaching it to you. Like they want you to be within this system. Like, I think there's so many churches I've been to in Ghana, and like, if someone says they're traveling,
come to the front.
Come to the front if you're traveling. Come to the front. We wish you traveling mercies. My daughter, she's now going to study in America. Like, and then everyone's clapping for her. Let's pray for traveling mercies. Pray. What? For why?
And it's so crazy, because I think about it often. I think about like, is it okay? Dissecting the problem. Yeah. Is it like an element of community? Yeah. Intertwined this new world of like, I guess, capital. Like capitalism. Is it like a new world, new stage capitalization, where it's like the way capitalism works, intertwined the way community works in Africa, and need makes it so that money becomes what like makes it like, but we don't work like that. It's not in our nature to go just after capital. Yeah, we're not brought up like those community to respect other people. So the way it manifests,
even our shared core values of respect, brother. You're so right. Like you're slapping the points on the table. Even the way like you can't use your left hand to greet your uncle. You need to use your right hand, like your aunties. Whatever it is, like if they're talking to you, keep your hand behind your back. Like, listen. A child must be seen, not heard. Like these little things, it's all community based. But the fact that we're trying to drive this apart and we're trying to say, money, get this. This is where it separates us. I think you're so right, man. You're so right.
What role do you think the people, like, I think you're showing, you're actually showing the leadership here by actually speaking about these things. What are the roles do you think the people, the African diaspora, people are here, what role do we have to kind of like help with this problem that we're talking about?
Don't be ignorant, man. Don't be ignorant. Don't, what's it called? There's this thing from Boondocks where it's like the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. Absolutely. Like, just because you're not looking for it doesn't mean it's not there. Stop being so into this culture where you think, nah, man, I'm going dirty December. I've gone dirty December. Now I'm going to come back and I'm going to go back to my 9 to 5. I'm going to go back to partying. I'm going to go back to spending money on this, spending money on that. Like, see where you went. How do I continue to have this fun? How do I continue to have Dirty December? How can I say I am like wholeheartedly making a change to my people? Like, build these resources. You're here. There's a reason why you're not eating McDonald's every day. There's a reason why you're not, like, hamburger is not the first thing you think about. That cheeseburger, a chicken, like, there's a reason. When you're eating African food, you feel so alive, you feel so whole. Dig into these meanings, like, embrace it more. How do you then add it to your day-to-day? How do you then patronize these black businesses? And, like, you know so bad that that new iPhone that you want is promoting to Congo's genocide. You know this. You know that the more you buy from Nestle, that's the more that they're killing our African babies. You know all of this. You know Unilever. You know Dove. You know Vaseline. So use your shea butter. Use all of these things. Like, stop embedding yourself so deep into this culture that you're forgetting your fundamentals. You're losing yourself. And you said it from the beginning, my brother. Like, you found that balance between this is the culture I'm in and this is where I'm from and I'm bringing it together. Don't let this cloud you. Don't let this place that you're in, like, it doesn't matter if you haven't been to Africa. It doesn't matter if you don't feel at home. Yes, I understand how hard it must be when you go back home and, like, they make you feel like a bomber and they're giving you exorbitant prices. I know how hard it must be. But wouldn't you do the same? Like, see where the change is. Yes, we're screaming at them and we're telling them to change. Some are. And it's a process, but you got to be a part of this process. You got to be within this change that's happening. You can't just be oblivious. The absence of evidence is not always the evidence of absence, you know? Like, see the truth, see the power that you have in your voice and the ability. You being here, as much as we might not like to believe it, it's a privilege because our people are struggling. And living within that culture, you see the struggle. But in the process of change and in the process of trying to get them to change their mentality and every day waking up and making that change, you also need to contribute wherever you can. Don't sit back and just say, oh, I've enjoyed Dirty December. Now I'm going to go back to drinking and buying and doing whatever I can here. Make that change. Even if it's the little things, man, see it. Don't stop. Amazon should not be your go-to. Again, you know what all these... So, Mr. Bezos, if you find me, I will run. Listen. All I'm saying is, like, find out these things. Educate yourself. I'm not saying change your lifestyle completely. There's some things that you can't, that's not in your control. But there's a lot that you're doing that is in your control.
100%, bro. Literally, like, everything you said, that snippet there, that's exactly what we need to hear. It's exactly what we all need to, because it's a responsibility that we just don't like. We don't like that word.
Are you fancy, man? Responsibility. Tell them.
Tell them that word of what responsibility means.
Yeah.
But oof, I don't like that. I'm not an individual. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
But that's not where we're from.
Yeah.
That's not in our, understanding that you're just a singular person, separate from your community. That's not where we grew up.
Yeah.
Second, we stand on the shoulders of giants. The people that got us here, the people that make us here, they sacrificed everything.
Everything, man.
They died for these ideas.
What?
They literally got assassinated, knowing they were in a system that would assassinate them.
Yeah.
Knowing they had to go up against CIA.
Still struggle.
Oof, they became martyrs.
Yeah.
When we're here going, actually, there December sounds, what the?
Yeah, yes, right?
Fine.
Right?
The way, and I kind of, and like, once you take a step back and you deeper, you go, oh, this is part of the control. Yeah. It's part of us to kind of like be given all these distractions, and then you also have to struggle because we also struggle.
Of course.
So like, that's the part of the responsibility. That's why it means so much. Because once you start to build where you're from, and it comes in simple matters, right? Even this conversation is a part of it. It is. Realizing that, not being asleep to the struggle, but also understanding the responsibility that we play in that. Yeah. How can we help back home? How can they do better? Yeah. Then you're creating a community, an idea of it, Yeah. Like the liberation of the mind comes in your words.
Yeah.
And how you vocalize what you think, you know? And you have to be able to find the truth in yourself to understand that that's important. And once you do it, you start connecting people. And then that's another launch of change. That's all you need. But we have to come to that, man. Africa needs us. And it needs us more than just like the money that we have.
Yeah.
It needs our perspective. It needs our ideas.
We need to show up. So you're speaking. Oh, man. Yeah. It's beautiful. It's very good, like, to have people like I'm very good. Stop clowning people. Like, Camera, stop clowning people for standing up. Like, change is imminent. Like, you're seeing what is wrong. Like, if at your core, you know what the person is saying is true, at your deep, deep core, what I'm saying to you, like, yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, you might think I feel like I'm superior. I'm really not, brother. I live in East London in a 1-bedroom. What are you talking about? What do I have? I have nothing. It doesn't mean I don't make a change. Change starts from each individual. And the more you see, the more power you have, then, like, it's just about your words, man. And expose yourself to all these people that are dedicating their day to... I'm not saying dedicate your whole life to it. I'm not saying dedicate Monday to Sunday, 24 hours, just do it. I'm not saying that, because each individual has their own craft. Each individual has their own passion, their own love, whatever it is you need to find. But there's people that dedicate themselves to this. Find them. Encourage them. Boost them up. Find my guy Jeoffrey, man. Share him out. See what he's doing and share it to the masses. Educate those that are struggling to be educated. Show it to those, be the voice for the voiceless. That's literally it. 100%. Those that can't expose themselves, man. Look at what Burkina Faso is doing. Like, Traore is making sure that he's looking after his people. And there's a process where we still need to fight for the right things, and we need to fight for people's rights to be individuals and to express themselves the way that they express. But as a whole, as a culture, as a people, like, we need to see where the change... North Africa is not different from West Africa or South Africa or East Africa. We are all one. And the more you start to embrace this, the better it will be for each individual. Like, I don't know if you remember, but that talk that we went to, there was one of the doctors on the stage. She was saying, we need to stop separating. Unity from the topic. Like, it's not the core value. Being united as one and having that same principle, that same mindset, bringing your differences together to push you and to make you see where the truth is the most important thing you can do in this world. Nobody's better than anyone. We are all the same. Understanding this is your fundamental. The same way you're living your experience, you're having this is how someone else is having it. They're seeing it from a different perspective. It is your job to educate. If they don't take it on, continue to educate. If they don't take it on, continue. One person's faults does not equate the masses. The whole of America is not bad. It's the masses, though. You get what I'm saying? Try to educate where you can. Try to expose yourself where you can. Don't get too caught up and don't get too stuck in the system, man. Meet people that do. If you can't do it, let those that do. And embrace them. Make them feel seen and heard. Because you know it's true. And the core, nothing you said here today, my brother, is a lie. And everyone sitting in this room can attest to the fact that we are the change that we need to see. And we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing up until the bones are rotten, man.
Honestly, and I think this is what it means to kind of even if you're looking at it from a selfish point of view, right? Creating your identity is like embracing that perspective we just said about. If there are stuff from your country you know that needs to improve, if there's an ideology that you know that needs updated, you have to share that perspective, because a lot of people feel lost. They feel in this in between place, especially when it comes to who they are and what they represent, who they stand for, Yeah. And it's that's because you're playing halfway. You're kind of you're indulging in kind of what the Britain offer, what English offer, but you also kind of you like what's back home, but you're also kind of embarrassed by it.
Yeah.
And you're in this in-between phase.
Yeah.
But you're not realizing that's your opportunity for growth.
Real eyes realize, man. Real eyes realize. Hey, ain't mine. I think it's from Pac or something, but yeah. Real eyes realize. You're right, sir. You're right. Comfort, man, is the comfort. Don't stop letting comfort get to you. Wake up and see, man. The grass ain't always green, man.
100%, bro.
Might keep going.
Nah, look, like my next question was going to be, what does someone do? But like, that's been the whole conversation has been like, what you can do. So I'm not gonna like, what do you guys have to do? What do you have to go out and do? But I want to talk more about what are some of the stuff that you think, right? You think that need more attention, more than just Africa, right? More than just like, what's going on in Africa. Because we got some people spending our time, but the world is is on fire right now.
Yeah.
With all these stuff that we're not actually paying attention to. So from what you've been looking at, just been, paying attention to going on out there, what are some of the stuff that people, along with what we've talked about today, they should make sure they educate themselves on, as we're also educating ourselves on, as we wrap this up. We talk about what we can do, but like, we're not, like you said, unity is all of us.
Yeah.
Because like, if Africa's in trouble, Middle East is in trouble.
Yeah.
Like.
Perfect point. You got me on a question now. At your core, see what is right, what feels right, and stop allowing your mindset to be colonized. There's not only Africans whose mindset are colonized. There's people all over the world have their mindset colonized. How can you tell me wholeheartedly at the age of 30, at the age of 24, at the age of 15, at the age of 5, that you think it's ever going to be right for another person to bomb a country or even a place, a simple section in a country, killing children and displacing families and destroying people's livelihoods? How at your core can you ever tell me that's good? At your core, do you think, like, imagine you're sitting down in your home and someone breaks your door, walks in, pulls out a gun and shoots you because of your sexual orientation, because of your sexual identity. At your core, are you telling me it is okay for somebody to see an animal minding its business and the first instinct is to kick it? It's to throw something at it. It's to deprive it of its livelihood, of its nature. Like, we sit here and praise social media and berate social media as well for all its shortcomings and like not having enough information to cancel somebody, to do whatever it is. But in your day-to-day, what are you doing that shows that you don't deserve to be cancelled? Not even from social media, from reality. Like, what are you telling me right now? Like, you're sitting there telling me it's okay for you to put harm. Like, don't get me wrong. At some point in my life, I was this villain that I am speaking of right now. But how long can you keep going on for? When does the switch flip and when do you wake up and say, each individual is entitled to how they feel and how they operate? But when do we say, this is a wrong way to view the world, or this is the wrong way to see society, and say it's okay for us to cause harm to other people? It's okay for us. Like, since when was it okay? I never thought we lived in a society someone can run into a classroom and pull kids out of classroom because they're in the wrong country, because they have the wrong documentation. At my core, I think we should go back to hunter-gatherers. I think all of this thing with telephones and with like speaking, we should go back to hunter-gatherers. Just start sharing stuff again. Just have a society where if I need sugar, I go and speak to somebody. Since when was it okay? Not even the fact I'm concealing a weapon. I'm driving away from a scene where I feel like you're going to kill me, and I was right in feeling you're going to kill me, because as soon as I turned my car around, you released bullets into the car and he killed me.
Mad. And we're so desensitized to this because of social media. And desensitized, but also feel like it's not our problem.
Whose problem is it?
That's the issue, and that's the endearing end is the issue, right? Because every society is at least itself down the path of destruction as that kind of ideology. It's not my issue. Then they're knocking down on your door. And then what are you gonna do about it? Turn around and be like, oh, can someone help me?
Help! I need help.
Help that person. When you saw it, you thought that was someone across the world.
Yeah.
But no,
it's a karmic universe, man.
Karmic universe, so 100%. So,
like, you can't see these things and turn a blind eye. You can't go home, hug your children, and say, "I'm a good father, I'm a good man, I'm a good mother, and then pretend like it's okay to belittle somebody for who they are. It's okay to attack somebody because of the way they look, because of what they want, because they are on a land that was promised to you. Like, do we understand this? Do we understand the reality of the current situation we are in? Like, people are illegally mining. People are getting buried because somebody wants an extra zero to their net worth. Like, people are dying day to day. Like, the RSF is killing people in Sudan just because of what? Because they have the weapons to, and they're embarrassing. Like, women are getting molested all over the world, being sexually assaulted, just because a few men don't think it's okay for them to change what doesn't fit within society. Like, what? If we're growing, you're growing, you want to grow mansions and you want to grow buildings, you can't grow your mentality too? You can't grow your compassion too? Is this the society that we want to live in? Guys, I am no MLK. I am, all right, even him, I heard he was a pedophile. This is so sad, but yeah, no, let's not do that. Come on.
But you know what I'm going to say? It's like, you've said so much truth, and you said so much stuff today. And like, that's the call to action. That's the only call to action that we need.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time today, man.
Ah, man.
And thank you so much for staying with me and speaking to me. We got to do one of these again. We got to do this again. There's enough time to go.
Let me get educated. It was an absolute pleasure, my brother. I respect highly what you're doing. And I see your vision. And I know you're going to be great, man. I hope we get the masses involved. And we just got to keep spreading the words, keep spreading the love. Love leads first, innit?
100%. One conversation at a time, brother.
Come on, man. Thank you, brother. Thank you, man.
Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.